At the lavish family celebration, all my sisters-in-law received gold jewelry and designer handbags. When it was my turn, my mother-in-law threw a dirty, dusty old shoebox in front of all the guests. "This suits you," my sister-in-law sneered, laughing with satisfaction. Holding back tears, I carried the box to my room and opened it. Inside was something that would change everything. Before we get into the story, don't forget to say hi in the comments and tell us where you're watching from. And make sure to hit the subscribe button on the Stories with Meaning channel so you won't miss our next powerful story. The thick aroma of coconut milk simmering with spicy chili filled the narrow kitchen at the back of the luxurious house. Anna wiped the sweat from her temple with the back of her hand. Since early morning, she had been battling large pans, slicing meat, and mixing spices for her mother-in-law's favorite slow-cooked beef stew. Today was Victoria's 65th birthday, and her word was absolute. No catering, everything had to be homemade. And homemade meant Anna's hands. "Anna, can you move any faster?" A sharp voice snapped her out of focus. Olivia, the eldest sister-in-law, stood at the kitchen doorway, waving her manicured hand in front of her nose. She looked flawless in a maroon silk gown, her hair styled in a sleek modern updo. "The smell of your cooking is unbearable. It's going to cling to my dress. Do you know how expensive dry cleaning is?" she complained, staring in disgust at Anna's worn apron. "I'm sorry, Olivia. It'll be done soon," Anna replied softly. "I'll turn on the exhaust fan and mop the floor right after." Her hands kept stirring the pot, afraid the stew would burn. "Chloe?" The second sister-in-law appeared behind Olivia, glued to her phone. Her thumbs danced across the screen, probably replying to her socialite friends who would arrive soon. She glanced at Anna and scoffed. "Look at her, still smelling like onions at this hour. Mom's guests are all wives of politicians and executives. It's embarrassing to have a daughter-in-law who looks like hired help." Anna lowered her head, swallowing the bitterness whole. She had been married to Lucas, the youngest son, for 3 years, and for 3 years she had endured endless humiliation. Lucas was the only son, but financially the least successful. While his sisters married wealthy businessmen, Lucas worked as a substitute high school teacher. Anna helped by selling homemade pastries on order. To Olivia and Chloe, Anna was nothing more than a parasite living in the small guest house behind Victoria's mansion. "Come on, Chloe, let's go to the front," Olivia said dismissively. "Let Cinderella finish her duties. Oh, and Anna, make sure all dirty plates are taken to the back immediately. Don't ruin the view." Anna exhaled deeply. Her chest hurt, but she couldn't cry. Red eyes would only anger Victoria. Half an hour later, the kitchen was spotless. The dishes were neatly arranged in the main hall. Anna hurried to the guest house to shower and change. She opened her modest wardrobe and reached for her best dress, a light brown batik-style gown Lucas had bought her 2 years ago during Thanksgiving sales. It was slightly faded, but still presentable. As she adjusted her shawl in the cracked mirror, the door opened. Lucas walked in, exhausted. He had just finished setting up extra tents outside at his mother's command. "I'm sorry," he said quietly, fixing Anna's shawl. "You should be out there enjoying the party, not cooking like this." Anna smiled gently. "It's okay. This is my way of showing respect to your mother." "But Olivia and Chloe went too far," Lucas muttered. "They treat you like a servant." "Shh, not today. Mom might hear," Anna whispered. The main hall had been transformed into a mini glittering ballroom. Crystal lights reflected off gold jewelry and diamonds worn by the guests. Luxury perfume filled the air. At the center sat Victoria, on an ornate wooden chair like a throne. She wore a black velvet dress with a massive gold brooch pinned to her chest. Anna and Lucas entered quietly, almost invisible. Then Olivia grabbed the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending our beloved mother's birthday. As a token of love, our children would like to present our gifts." Anna's heart pounded. First, Olivia stepped forward, revealing a designer handbag ordered directly from Paris, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then, Chloe presented a full diamond jewelry set. Applause thundered. Victoria beamed with pride. Then her gaze shifted, sharp and cold. "What about the youngest daughter-in-law? Come forward, Anna. Don't just stand there eating for free." Anna walked slowly, legs trembling. She offered a small, plain gift box. "It's a handmade knitted shawl. I made it myself so you won't feel cold during your morning prayers." Victoria stared at it like trash. "A knitted shawl," she scoffed. "They sell these at flea markets." Then she reached underneath her chair and threw a dirty old shoebox at Anna's feet. "Take it," Victoria said coldly. "This gift suits someone like you." Laughter erupted. Anna stood frozen, tears burning her eyes. The laughter rang in Anna's ears like the growl of a monster. She felt stripped bare in front of everyone, her dignity crushed into the marble floor. "Pick it up," Victoria snapped coldly, "or I'll throw both of you out of this house tonight." With the last of her strength, Anna slowly knelt down. Her knees touched the icy floor, right beside the filthy shoebox. Her trembling fingers reached out, brushing against the rough, dusty cardboard. Click, click, click. The sharp sound of a phone camera shutter filled the air. Chloe was busy snapping photos, Anna kneeling at Victoria's feet like a servant picking up trash. "Smile a little, Anna," Chloe sneered, "so the photo looks more aesthetic." She laughed cruelly. "I'll title it, 'A Daughter-in-Law Who Knows Her Place.'" Anna hugged the shoebox tightly to her chest. Dust stained her faded dress, but she didn't care. She just wanted it to end. "Thank you, Mother," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Open it in your room," Victoria waved her hand dismissively. "Don't pollute my living room with garbage. Now leave, you're ruining my party." Anna struggled to stand. Her legs wobbled. Lucas quickly wrapped an arm around her shoulders, guiding her away from the crowd that watched with open contempt. As they walked toward the back door, Anna could hear whispered gossip and the bright laughter of Olivia and Chloe, celebrating their victory, mocking the ugly duckling they had humiliated. But no one noticed. As Anna turned her back on the throne, Victoria's eyes no longer held disgust. For a split second, her gaze sharpened, calculating, studying Anna's narrow but upright back as she carried the box of humiliation, as if measuring the strength of shoulders she had just burdened beyond reason. Inside the cramped guest room, Lucas slammed the door shut and collapsed onto the edge of the bed, breathing hard. He was furious, at his mother, at his sisters, but most of all, at himself. Anna placed the shoebox on the small table beside the bed. She stared at it. It was truly filthy. But under the dim yellow light, something caught her attention. The box wasn't sealed with ordinary tape. It was closed with dark red wax, cracked and aged, stamped with the family crest, nearly faded. The same crest engraved on the wedding ring of Lucas's late father. "Lucas," Anna whispered. Her fingers peeled away the wax seal. Her heart pounded. A voice inside her said this was not kitchen trash. "Just throw it away," Lucas muttered bitterly, not turning around. "Don't open it. It'll only hurt you more." Anna didn't listen. She opened the dented lid. The musty smell of old newspapers rose into the air. Inside were crumpled stacks of yellowed paper. But beneath, a metallic glint reflected the light. Anna's hands shook violently as she pushed the newspapers aside. The dates printed on them were 10 years ago. Lucas slowly turned toward her, sensing the sudden silence. "What is it?" he asked sarcastically. "A dead lizard?" Anna didn't answer. She took a deep breath, then carefully lifted the object from the bottom of the box. It wasn't trash, not rags, not a toilet brush like Olivia had mocked. In Anna's sweating palm lay a large antique key. Its design was old-fashioned, like keys from colonial-era estates. But what made Lucas freeze was the material. The key was heavy, solid, and gleaming a deep yellow under the neon light. "That's gold," Lucas whispered, moving closer. "This is real gold, at least, maybe 2 ounces. "Lucas, look," Anna said softly, her voice trembling, not from the gold. Beneath the key lay a worn, transparent folder. Inside, a thick legal document bearing a golden federal seal, a property ownership certificate. Anna opened it, her hands weak. Property ID number 1045, land area 26,900 square feet, location Aspen Ridge, Colorado. It was the legendary family villa, the one Olivia and Chloe often bragged about, the sleeping asset rumored to be worth several $1,000,000 because of its panoramic mountain views. The villa had been locked and abandoned ever since Lucas's father passed away. "Lucas, it's your father's villa," Anna whispered, eyes filling with tears. "Mother gave us the deed." Lucas shook his head, pale. "No, that's impossible. She'd never give us something like this." Before he could finish, a folded handwritten letter slipped out. The ink was shaky, old. Anna recognized the handwriting instantly. "My daughter-in-law, Anna. If you are reading this letter, it means you didn't throw away the shoebox. That alone sets you apart from my daughters. I know I'm harsh. I know my words cut like razors. But I have eyes. I saw who fed me when I was sick with fever, while Olivia and Chloe were busy attending social galas overseas. I remember who changed my sheets when I couldn't make it to the bathroom in time, while my own children refused to enter the room because of the smell. They think I'm blind. They think designer bags and diamonds can buy a mother's heart. They're wrong. A parent's heart cannot be bought with brands. Mine softened because of your warm chicken porridge every morning, even when I complained it was bland. The gold key is the real key to the Aspen Ridge villa. Inside the study safe are my true liquid assets. The jewelry Olivia and Chloe wore today, gold-plated, cheap shine. This is your final test, Anna. Tell no one about this box until I'm gone. If you speak now, they will tear you apart like starving wolves. Be patient. Let them laugh today, because in the end, you will be the one laughing last. Mother. Tears soaked the paper. Anna sobbed, not because of wealth, but because she had been seen. For 3 years, she thought she meant nothing. Behind the iron wall of cruelty, Victoria had noticed everything. Lucas slid down to the floor, his back against the wardrobe. "Oh, God, Mom," he whispered, crushed with regret. Suddenly, bang, bang, the door shook violently. "Hey, Cinderella," Chloe shrieked from outside. "What are you doing in there? Get out." "Dirty plates are piling up like a mountain," Olivia laughed. "And bring that trash box with you. Throw it outside. Don't let rats nest in here." Anna and Lucas exchanged panicked looks. The gold key and documents were hidden, but the box was empty. Quickly, Anna stuffed the old newspapers back inside. Her eyes darted around. She grabbed a heavy doorstop stone and dropped it into the box just as the handle twisted violently. The door creaked open. Anna stood there, head lowered. In her arms, the battered shoebox, now heavy enough to deceive anyone. Chloe stood with crossed arms, eyebrow raised. "Where's the trash?" she sneered. "Let me see what kind of garbage Mum gifted you." Anna tightened her grip. Her heart thundered, but she remembered the letter. "This is your final test." "It's just old cleaning rags," Anna answered quietly. She made her voice tremble as much as possible. "There's also a broken knife-sharpening stone inside," and I said softly, "Mother said it suits someone like me. someone who belongs in the kitchen." Olivia burst into loud laughter, nearly spilling the red syrup from her crystal glass. "A sharpening stone?" she scoffed. "Oh my God, Mother is savage. She's clearly sending you a message. Your place is in the back sharpening knives, not sitting pretty in the living room." "Let me see it," Chloe said, stepping forward. Her hand reached for the lid of the box. Anna's blood ran cold. If Chloe opened the box and saw the dirty black river stone, not the sharpening stone Anna had invented, the lie would collapse instantly. Anna stepped back reflexively. Chloe frowned. "Don't," Anna blurted a little too loudly. She immediately lowered her voice. "I mean, it's extremely dirty, lots of dust, and sorry, there's a rat urine smell. I don't want your expensive clothes getting contaminated. I'll just throw it out by the front gate." The moment she said rat urine, Chloe recoiled, covering her nose. "Ugh, that's disgusting," she snapped. "Fine, go. Use the side door. Don't walk through the main hall. We don't want that stench spreading to VIP guests." She waved Anna away like a contagious disease. Anna nodded obediently. "Yes, Olivia, excuse me." With quick steps, head lowered, Anna slipped out of the guest house. She walked along the side corridor, passing tall windows that revealed the glittering party inside. Under the crystal chandeliers, she saw Olivia proudly showing off her new handbag to a group of high-ranking socialites. Olivia laughed brightly, teeth gleaming, as if she owned the world. Anna paused in the darkness of the garden, watching. Once, this sight would have stabbed her heart. She would have felt small, poor, invisible. But tonight felt different. A strange warmth spread through her chest, a quiet, calming sense of superiority. "Laugh all you want, Olivia," Anna thought. "Enjoy that leather bag, because the property deed to the land beneath your feet and the key to the vault where all that wealth comes from are hidden under my worn house dresses." She walked to the large trash area near the gate. Carefully, making sure no one was watching, she placed the shoebox on top of the pile, not tossing it carelessly, but positioning it perfectly, as if she had just thrown something precious. She had to be convincing. Who knew if Olivia had spies? Then Anna returned inside through the kitchen door. Her work wasn't done yet. Dirty dishes were piled high. She washed them with a lighter heart. The clinking of plates and glasses sounded like music. An hour later, the party began to fade. Guests started leaving. Anna came out of the kitchen carrying a tray with warm tea for Victoria. As usual, Victoria still sat on her throne-like chair, but her posture had softened. Her face looked pale beneath the heavy makeup. As Anna placed the teacup on the side table, right where the shoebox had been earlier, their eyes met. Only for a second, but in that second, an entire conversation passed without words. Victoria's eyes were tired, searching. Anna responded with the slightest nod, almost invisible, then briefly glanced toward the outside. A signal. The trash was gone. The message was received. The corner of Victoria's lips twitched into a faint smile, barely there. She exhaled deeply, as if a heavy burden had just been lifted from her fragile shoulders. She picked up the tea and sipped it slowly. "Your tea is acceptable tonight," Victoria murmured without looking at Anna. "Not too sweet." It was the highest praise Anna had received in 3 years as a daughter-in-law. "Thank you, Mother," Anna replied gently. "Mom, one last family photo before we end the party," Olivia shouted, grabbing Victoria's arm roughly, "while our makeup is still on point." Victoria winced. "Slowly, Olivia. My head is dizzy." "Oh, Mom, don't be dramatic. It's just a little dizziness. Smile, show off your Hermes bag." She positioned herself so her gown and bag were clearly visible. Chloe pressed in on the other side, displaying her diamond necklace. "Okay, 1, 2... Thud. Before the camera flash fired, Victoria's body suddenly collapsed. Her legs gave out. She fell hard onto the floor, pulling the tablecloth with her. A crystal vase crashed and shattered into pieces. "Mom!" Olivia screamed. The remaining party instantly dissolved into chaos. Anna reacted first. She ran through the crowd, ignoring the glass cutting into her feet, and cradled Victoria's head in her lap. Her breathing was ragged, her eyes rolled upward. Her hand clutched Anna's wrist tightly, not Olivia's, not Chloe's, who were screaming for the driver. "Guard it," Victoria whispered, her voice like coarse gravel. Her eyes locked on Anna's. "Guard the box." Then Victoria lost consciousness completely. The rhythmic beeping of a heart monitor filled the ICU room. Beep, beep, beep. A monotonous rhythm, counting what little time remained. The sharp smell of disinfectant mixed with the icy air conditioning. Victoria had been in a coma for 5 days after the stroke that night. Her once dominant body now looked frail beneath thick hospital blankets, tubes sustaining what life remained. Anna wrung out a small towel soaked in warm water. Carefully, patiently, she wiped Victoria's swollen arm around the IV line. She cleaned between the old woman's fingers, hands that once pointed cruelly at her face, now powerless in her grasp. "I'm sorry, Mother. The water's a bit cold. The heater's broken." She didn't know if Victoria could hear her. Suddenly, the door burst open. Olivia and Chloe entered, high heels clicking loudly against the vinyl floor. Their overpowering perfume drowned out the smell of medicine. "This room is suffocating," Chloe complained, waving her hand. "It smells like a nursing home." She didn't approach Victoria, only checked her reflection in the window. "So, what did the doctor say?" Olivia asked, sitting on the guest sofa, typing on her phone. "Same thing, no improvement, still critical. Oh, check my Instagram story. Is the caption sad enough? 'Get well soon, Mom. My world collapses without you.' Good, right?" Anna stopped wiping. Her chest burned. "Please lower your voices," she said quietly. "She needs rest." "Hey, maid, don't tell us what to do. We're her real children. Your job is to clean her mess and make sure the IV doesn't clog. Don't pretend you're a doctor." Anna bit her lip. She stayed silent. Since Victoria was hospitalized, Anna barely slept. She stayed 24 hours a day. Lucas still had to teach, exam season, and worked side jobs to survive. Olivia controlled Victoria's bank cards. Meanwhile, Olivia and Chloe's devotion existed only on social media. They came briefly, took photos holding Victoria's hand with fake sorrow, then left to dine at luxury restaurants or shopping. That morning, when Anna returned home to get fresh clothes for Victoria, she found the master bedroom in chaos. Closets rummaged through. Half of Victoria's designer bags were gone. They had started looting before Victoria had even taken her last breath. Victoria's favorite silk shawl now hung around Olivia's neck. Victoria's gold Rolex gleamed on Chloe's wrist. "We're just securing assets so rats don't steal them," Olivia said casually when Anna caught them dragging a suitcase away.
Suddenly, a faint splashing sound was heard, followed immediately by a sharp, acrid stench of urine. It turned out Victoria's catheter bag had leaked, or perhaps her adult diaper was already too full, seeping through onto the hospital sheet. "Ugh, what is that smell?" Olivia shrieked hysterically, jumping away from the bed. "That's disgusting." She gagged dramatically. "Anna, call Nurse G. I think I'm going to throw up." She frantically covered her nose with a stolen silk shawl. "Where's the nurse call button? Hurry up, Anna, press it. Don't just stand there," Olivia barked in panic. Anna did not call the nurse. She knew the nurses were busy handling an emergency patient in the room next door. Calmly, she walked to the cabinet and took out the supplies herself. Latex gloves, cotton pads, warm water, and a clean diaper. "I'll take care of it," Anna said, flatly. "Well, of course you should," Chloe sneered. "We just showered and had our nails done yesterday. It'd be a shame if we got dirty." She hurried out of the room, followed closely by Olivia. "Let's wait in the cafeteria," Chloe added casually. "The air in here is toxic." The door closed again. Anna was left alone with Victoria. Slowly and carefully, she lifted Victoria's heavy body, changed the soaked sheet, and cleaned her gently. There was no trace of disgust on Anna's face, only deep compassion. As she wiped Victoria's back, already irritated and sore from lying too long, Anna's tears fell onto the wrinkled skin of the old woman. "Do you see this, Mom? The children you were so proud of, the ones you bought designer bags worth tens of thousands of dollars for. They can't even stand the smell of your sweat. They're disgusted by touching you." Anna remembered the will at home, the gold key and the property certificates for Aspen Ridge Villa, Colorado, hidden beneath piles of her worn-out clothes. The irony was unbearable. Anna, who had been given nothing in plain sight, was the one giving everything, while those who were given everything gave nothing at all. "Hold on, Mom," Anna sobbed softly, pulling the blanket back over Victoria. "Don't go yet. There's still so much you need to see." That afternoon, Lucas arrived with a worn, exhausted face. He had just finished teaching. His eyes were red from lack of sleep. He sat beside Anna and squeezed her hand tightly. "Go home and rest, sweetheart," Lucas said gently. "I'll stay tonight." "It's okay," Anna shook her head. "I'm not sleepy yet. Besides, Olivia and Chloe definitely won't take turns tomorrow morning if I'm not here." Suddenly, from behind the half-open privacy curtain, left that way because Olivia and Chloe had entered earlier without closing it properly, a serious conversation drifted in. Olivia and Chloe were standing in the hallway, speaking with a well-dressed man holding a leather folder. Their voices were low, but close enough for Anna to hear. "So how is it, Mr. Notary?" Olivia pressed. "Can it be done?" "It's difficult, ma'am. The asset owner, your mother, is unconscious. Legally, she cannot sign or approve any sale." He sounded like the family's long-time notary. "Oh, come on," Chloe cut in impatiently. "She doesn't have much time left anyway. The doctor said it's just a matter of time. We need fast cash to cover these insane hospital bills. You expect us to wait until she dies before selling the house?" Anna's heart stopped. Selling the house? The main family home? "But Mrs. Olivia, Mrs. Chloe," the notary said hesitantly, "as far as I know, the property certificate is kept in your mother's personal safe, and no one knows where the key is." "That's exactly the problem," Olivia snapped. "We tore the whole house apart. Her closets, her drawers. The key is nowhere to be found." "Can't you just make a power of attorney letter? Use her fingerprint. She's asleep anyway," Olivia whispered harshly. "We'll give you a bigger commission." Anna clamped her mouth over her mouth. Her body trembled violently. They were planning to forge Victoria's fingerprint while she was in a coma, to sell the family home. "I won't do that," the notary said firmly. "Selling the main residence carries prison risk. Unless," he added carefully, "there's another asset whose documents aren't held by your mother, or a will appointing an executor." "There is no will," Olivia shouted. "She was insanely stingy. She trusted no one." "Wait," Chloe's voice suddenly changed, suspicious. "Do you remember her birthday party? She gave that shoebox to Anna. She said it was a key. We thought it was trash. But what if it wasn't?" Silence fell in the hallway. Anna felt the blood drain from her face. "No way," Olivia said, but her voice wavered. "It was dust and rocks. We saw it." "But we didn't check the bottom," Chloe insisted. Then decisively, "What if we search the back pavilion now?
They're stuck at the hospital with Mom. If the key is there, we can take everything tonight." Anna turned sharply toward Lucas. His face was pale. The back pavilion wasn't double-locked, and Anna's wardrobe lock was already broken. If they went there now, they would find the villa certificate and gold key within minutes. "Run, Lucas, now," Anna whispered urgently, pushing his back. "Don't let them get there first. Save the box. If you have to, take all our important documents and leave that house tonight." Lucas nodded grimly. He knew this wasn't just about money. It was about his mother's final trust. Without another word, Lucas sprinted down the hospital corridor, burst out the exit doors, and sped off on his old motorcycle through the evening traffic, racing against time and possibly against his sister's luxury cars. After Lucas left, Anna returned to Victoria's bedside. Victoria's breathing grew heavier, broken. A gurgling sound rose from her throat, the terrifying sign of the end. Anna held Victoria's hand, now growing cold. "Lucas is protecting your trust, Mom," Anna whispered. "I'm here. I'll stay with you." As if hearing her voice, Victoria's eyelids fluttered. They opened slightly, clouded, dim. The intimidating sharpness was gone. Only surrender remained. Victoria looked at Anna. Her lips moved faintly, without sound, but Anna understood. "Thank you." A single tear slipped from the corner of Victoria's eye, rolled down her wrinkled cheek, and soaked into the pillow. Suddenly, the heart monitor screamed, a long, terrifying flat line. "Nurse! Doctor!" Anna screamed, though her heart already knew. Medical staff rushed in. CPR, chest compressions, epinephrine. Anna collapsed into the corner of the room, sliding to the floor. She watched Victoria's body jerk under resuscitation, knowing the strong spirit had already left. The door burst open. Olivia and Chloe rushed in, breathless. They hadn't gone far before hearing the code blue announcement. "Mom!" Olivia screamed, more panic in her voice over lost inheritance than lost love. The doctor stopped. He checked the clock, then looked at them solemnly. "I'm sorry, we've done everything we could. Time of death, 5:45 p.m. The world seemed to freeze. Then Olivia and Chloe burst into tears, but to Anna their sobs rang hollow. "Mom, why did you die before signing the papers?" Chloe wailed, before Olivia elbowed her hard. "I mean, why did you leave us so soon?" Olivia corrected hysterically. She turned to Anna, still sitting on the floor, eyes blazing. "This is your fault. You were the last one with her, weren't you? You poisoned her, or you didn't call the doctor on purpose." Anna said nothing. She was too exhausted. She only bowed her head and let the accusation pass. In her heart, she prayed, "Please let Lucas have reached the house." 2 days later, the red earth at the cemetery was still damp. The flowers were fresh, but Olivia and Chloe's crocodile tears had dried before they even reached the front gate of the house. The funeral was lavish, hundreds of guests. Olivia and Chloe accepted condolences, posing as the most grieving daughters. Lucas, his eyes swollen from real tears, stood silently beside Anna. When the family procession arrived at the main house, a large moving truck was already parked outside. Several muscular men in black uniforms guarded the gate, which was locked with a heavy chain. "What's going on?" Anna asked, confused, stepping off Lucas's motorcycle. They hadn't been allowed in the same car as Olivia and Chloe. Olivia stepped out of her black luxury SUV, still wearing oversized sunglasses and a branded black dress. Chloe stood beside her, arms crossed.
Never set foot in this house again unless you can afford to pay rent," Chloe sneered, laughing mockingly. "You have no right," Anna shouted, Tears streamed down her face as she stared at her clothes scattered across the filthy asphalt. "Throw these vagrants out," Olivia ordered coldly to the burly men. Two massive security guards stepped forward and shoved Lucas and Anna violently, sending them stumbling backward onto the road. The grand iron gate slammed shut. Blam! The sound of the heavy chain lock turning felt like a knife twisting in their chests. From behind the gate, Olivia and Chloe waved with triumphant smiles, then turned back into their mansion, leaving their own brother and sister-in-law stranded on the street like beggars. The overcast afternoon sky began to drizzle, as if the heavens themselves were mourning the injustice. Trembling, Anna gathered her scattered clothes. She felt completely shattered. They had nowhere to go. Lucas's salary for the month had already been spent on Victoria's memorial rites that her sisters had never appreciated. "Lucas, where are we going?" Anna sobbed, clutching her long dress now smeared with gutter mud. Lucas knelt beside her, helping stuff the clothes into plastic bags. Rain soaked his face, but his eyes carried an odd, steady calm. "Anna," Lucas called softly. He reached into the worn backpack he had been clutching tightly all day, never letting go of it, not even at the funeral. "When you told me to run from the hospital," he unzipped the bag slightly. Inside, protected from rain and dirt, wrapped carefully in multiple layers of plastic, was the familiar corner of an old shoebox. "I got there just in time," Lucas whispered, his baritone voice trembling. "Before they changed the locks on the pavilion. They thought they took everything," he continued quietly. "They thought we only carried trash." Lucas lifted his gaze toward the grand gate now closed to them forever. "Let's go," he said calmly. "Let them fight over scraps in that house." He tapped the backpack. "We're going home, to our real palace." Heavy rain poured over the mountain area, masking the tears that had been streaming down Anna's cheeks. Lucas's old motorcycle roared weakly as it climbed the slippery, winding road, wrapped in fog. They were soaked to the bone, shivering from the cold, yet the fire burning in their chests made the cold irrelevant. They stopped in front of a tall, rusted iron gate, nearly swallowed by wild blue ivy and thorny shrubs. Creeping vines covered the villa's rusted nameplate, leaving only faint letters visible. Aspen Ridge Villa. "Is this it?" Anna asked, teeth chattering as she stepped down into the mud. Lucas nodded, wiping rain from his face. He reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a large golden key, taken from the shoebox and kept safe against his chest. It wasn't for the gate, it was for the main door. For the gate, Lucas reached into a hidden crevice behind a stone pillar, a secret spot his late father had shown him when he was a child. Just as he remembered, the rusted padlock key was there. Click. The gate creaked open with a painful metallic groan, as if it had been yearning to open for decades. They pushed the motorcycle inside. Behind the overgrown wilderness stood a massive colonial-style building, grand yet eerie, its white paint peeled, windows coated in thick dust, the terrace buried under dead leaves. This was no ready-to-live luxury villa. It looked more like a haunted house. "Mom never renovated this place after Dad died," Lucas murmured. "People thought it was abandoned." But Anna felt something different. Beneath the gloom, she sensed strength. The pillars were massive, the architecture elegant. This wasn't decay. This was a sleeping giant. They climbed the steps. Lucas's hands trembled as he inserted the golden key into the carved teakwood door, a door nearly a handspan thick. Click. Perfect fit. The mechanism turned smoothly, as if it had been oiled just yesterday. The double doors opened heavily. The scent of old wood, candle wax, and memories spilled out. Anna turned on her phone's flashlight. The electricity hadn't been restored yet. The beam swept across the room.
and her breath caught. Incredible! Unlike the haunted exterior, the interior was perfectly preserved. Everything was draped in white cloth: sofas, the long dining table, statues, even the massive crystal chandelier. Dust was present, yes, but beneath the covers lay museum-grade furnishings. The floor wasn't ordinary tile. It was solid Italian marble, cold and gleaming. "Lucas, this—" Anna couldn't finish the sentence. The main house Olivia and Chloe fought over was nothing compared to this hidden kingdom. "Let's go to Dad's study," Lucas said, his steps now firm. "According to Mom's letter, the safe is there." They walked down a long hallway lined with old paintings. At the end stood a solid oak door. The room smelled of tobacco and aged paper. A massive mahogany desk dominated the space. Lucas knelt behind it and opened a hidden wooden panel in the wall, exactly as he remembered from childhood. Inside was a huge antique iron safe. The combination. Lucas paused. Mom's birthday. His fingers turned the dial. Click, click, click. The handle turned heavily. The safe door opened. Anna leaned closer, shining her flashlight inside. Her eyes widened in shock. On the top shelf, bundles of cash in US dollars, bound with rubber bands, as if recently placed there, enough to buy a brand new car outright. The middle shelf was lined with gold bars, not grams, but kilograms, pure gold, gleaming mockingly against the plated jewelry Olivia and Chloe wore at parties. On the bottom shelf, thick folders stacked neatly. Anna picked one up with trembling hands. Time deposit certificates, majority shareholdings, luxury vehicle titles, records of an underground vehicle collection. Anna collapsed onto the thick carpet. Her sobs erupted again. But this time, they weren't sorrow. They were release, victory. The cry of a wife watching her husband's dignity restored. "They threw us out with nothing," Anna sobbed, lifting a heavy 1-kilogram gold bar. "But Mom sent us away with a kingdom." Lucas sat beside her and pulled her into a tight embrace. He cried silently. "She knew," he whispered. "She knew exactly what my sisters were like. She knew they'd throw us away. That's why she prepared a lifeboat, far more luxurious than the sinking ship they're clinging to." Anna wiped her tears roughly. The sadness slowly vanished from her face. In its place appeared something new, something Lucas had never seen before. A hard, cold, calculating expression. The face of a woman who had grown tired of being crushed. "Start the generator out back," Anna ordered suddenly. Her voice was firm, no hesitation. "Why?" Lucas asked. "We're not sleeping in darkness tonight. We'll light every crystal chandelier. We'll warm this house." She walked to the desk and picked up a small black notebook hidden among the cash. Its title read, "Children's Debt Ledger." Anna opened the first page. Her eyes narrowed as she read Victoria's neat handwriting. Olivia borrowed the main house certificate as collateral for her boutique business loan, defaulting next month. Chloe borrowed approximately $150,000 in cash for her gambling husband, unpaid. A slow, chilling smile curved Anna's lips. "So that's it," she murmured. Her finger tapped the black notebook rhythmically. "So they didn't throw us out of a palace, Lucas. They threw us off a ship that's about to sink." She looked at him, eyes glinting under the flashlight. "Start the generator. And tomorrow morning, call the best attorney in this city. We're going to collect what's rightfully ours." 2 weeks passed after the night of their eviction. To the outside world, Anna and Lucas had vanished. No neighbors knew where they went. Olivia and Chloe didn't care. To them, the disappearance of Anna and Lucas was a blessing, clearing the main house of parasites. What they didn't know,
behind the rusted gates of Aspen Ridge Villa, Colorado, a silent revolution was unfolding. That morning, Anna sat in a leather chair inside her late father's study, now polished and immaculate. No more worn dresses, no faded shawl. She wore an elegant cream silk shawl, one of Victoria's old garments, perfectly tailored to her figure. Her once gentle face now radiated a cold, intimidating authority. Across from her sat a middle-aged man with thick glasses, staring at the stacks of documents in disbelief. He was Mr. Bernard Hale, the senior attorney trusted by Lucas's late father, once dismissed by Olivia for being too rigid.
Legally speaking, they were now occupying assets that no longer belonged to them. Any inheritance rights they once had already been eroded entirely by their debts. A faint smile curved Anna's lips. "So," she asked calmly, "what's our next move, sir?" "We don't attack head-on," Mr. Burhan replied, a sly smile spreading across his face, the kind of smile worn by a man who was already prepared for war. "We let them choke on their own lifestyle. I've already placed a legal block on the title of the main house through the National Land Registry this morning, on the grounds of an inheritance dispute and the original proof of ownership, which is in your possession. So if they try to sell the house," Anna added coolly, "they'll hit a dead end?" "Exactly." Meanwhile, back at the main estate, the atmosphere that once overflowed with celebrations had transformed into pure panic. Olivia was screaming into her phone in the middle of the living room. Her face was flushed crimson, cold sweats soaking through layers of expensive foundation. "What do you mean the title can't be processed? This is the original certificate. I took it myself from my mother's safe." On the other end of the line, the notary representing the prospective buyer sounded irritated. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Olivia, the Land Registry Office has rejected the verification. Our system shows that the physical certificate you're holding was reported lost by the original owner, your mother, 3 years ago. A replacement title was issued under a new serial number, so the document you have is legally worthless." "What?" Olivia hurled her phone onto the sofa. Her breathing grew ragged. She needed cash immediately. Her boutique business was being chased by suppliers, and she had been counting on selling the family estate to plug the hole. Just then, Chloe rushed down from the second floor, her face as pale. "Olivia, my credit cards were declined, all of them. The bank said the primary accounts we've been using were frozen by a third party. We can't withdraw a single dollar." "Frozen by who? We're the heirs," Olivia snapped. "I don't know. They said a legal firm filed an asset freeze." Chloe began to cry. "I have to pay into my Diamond Investment Club tomorrow, over $70,000. If I don't pay, I'll be humiliated in our social circle." Olivia pressed her fingers to her throbbing temples. The reversal had been too fast. Just a week ago, they felt like queens. Now they were rats trapped in a maze with no exit. "The system must be wrong," Olivia muttered, refusing to accept reality. "We need to find out which lunatic dared to block our assets." The doorbell rang. A neatly dressed courier stood outside, holding a thick brown envelope stamped with an official letterhead of a prestigious firm, Burhan and Associates, attorneys at law. "Delivery for Mrs. Olivia and Miss Chloe," the courier said politely. Olivia snatched the envelope and tore it open with trembling hands. Chloe peered over her shoulder. Inside wasn't a standard legal warning. It was a photocopied ledger, a small black notebook they recognized instantly. Their mother's debt book. On the front page was an official notice that made Olivia's knees buckle. Notice of asset execution for debt settlement. On behalf of our client, Miss Anna, the lawful executor of the late Victoria's estate, we hereby notify you that all debts owed by Miss Olivia and Miss Chloe to the late Victoria, as listed in the attached documentation, have reached maturity. Due to your lack of good faith and your attempt to sell disputed assets, you are granted 72 hours to vacate the main residence, which will be used to partially settle said debts. Failure to comply will result in criminal proceedings for asset misappropriation and unlawful occupation. Olivia's eyes locked on the name at the bottom. Anna. Anna, she whispered, her voice catching. The papers slipped from her hands. This isn't real, right? Chloe clutched her sister's arm, her face corpse pale. That useless housemaid, she's our boss now? Before Olivia could answer, her phone buzzed again. A message from an unknown number. The profile picture was a lotus flower, the same image Anna used. With shaking fingers, Olivia opened the message. How does it feel to receive a gift from me, sister? Oh, and don't forget to take the old toilet brush from the bathroom with you. Would be a shame to waste it. The once quiet estate erupted into chaos. In desperation, Olivia and Chloe made their final move. They summoned the entire extended family, uncles, aunts, distant cousins. They spun a dramatic narrative that Anna and Lucas were criminals. They forged Mom's signature while she was in a coma, Olivia wailed in the living room, crocodile tears streaming as she pointed toward the door. They're trying to throw us out, her own flesh and blood, so outsiders can steal this house. Chloe sobbed on Aunt Miriam's shoulder. She used black magic. Mom was brainwashed to give her everything. We have to fight this. Don't let the family wealth fall into the hands of a servant. The room buzzed with angry whispers. Relatives who didn't know the truth began to take sides. Then the low, powerful hum of an engine rolled into the driveway. Everyone turned toward the windows. Not Lucas's old motorcycle, a classic black Mercedes-Benz sedan, their late father's prized collection, hidden for years in the secret garage of Aspen Ridge. The car door opened. Lucas stepped out first, wearing a crisp batik-style shirt that gave him an air of authority, nothing like the weak younger brother they thought they knew. He walked around and opened the passenger door. Anna stepped out. Silence fell. She wore an elegant ivory blazer, draped with a refined silk shawl. There was no trace of Anna the servant. The cold, razor-sharp aura she radiated made Aunt Miriam fall silent mid-insult. Behind them, Mr. Burhan entered with two uniformed police officers. "How dare you bring police here?" Olivia lunged forward, pointing at Anna's face. "You here to show off? To humiliate us?" Anna brushed Olivia's hand aside with calm force. She didn't look at Olivia. She addressed Uncle Daniel and the family elders directly. "I apologize for being late," Anna said evenly. "I heard there was a family meeting. Good. Saves me the trouble of sending invitations for today's presentation." "Watch your mouth," Chloe screamed. "Return the title you stole." "Stole?" Anna smiled faintly. She nodded to Mr. Burhan. The elderly lawyer stepped forward, placed a briefcase on the table, and opened it. Not cash. Documents. A mini projector lit the white wall. "Please pay attention," Mr. Burhan said flatly. The first image appeared. Hospital CCTV footage. Date and time clearly visible. Gasps filled the room. On screen, Olivia and Chloe were rummaging through Victoria's bag when she lay unconscious, taking ATM cards, laughing, discussing plans to sell the house before she died. The audio was crystal clear. Unbeknownst to them, Victoria had installed a hidden camera inside her own bag, a fact Anna only discovered in the villa's notes. "Let Anna clean Mom's messes," Olivia's recorded voice sneered. "We focus on securing assets." Olivia's face drained of color. Uncle Daniel stood up, shaking with rage. "Olivia, is this true?" It's edited," Olivia stammered. "Edited?" Anna cut in calmly. "Then explain this." The slide changed. Bank transfer records.
For the past 5 years, Anna said clearly, Mother transferred approximately $140,000 to Olivia for her boutique business and $105,000 to Chloe for home renovations. Every transfer was marked as a loan. Your digital signatures are on every receipt. Anna lifted the small black ledger. Mother recorded every dollar. You are not heirs. You are defaulting debtors. Parasites who drained her to the bone. Liar! Olivia screamed and lunged forward. Her hand swung Grab. Lucas caught her wrist mid-air. Enough, he said coldly. Never touch my wife again. I stayed silent out of respect, but now you're just strangers with evil hearts. He flung her hand away. Mr. Burhan resumed calmly. Based on the audit, your debts exceed the value of this house. Legally, you have no claim to a single tile here. This property now belongs to Anna and Lucas as compensation for Victoria's losses. Anna stepped forward. She reached into her bag and pulled out a black plastic trash bag. She tossed it onto Olivia's lap. Pack your personal items, clothes, makeup, fake designer bags. What? Fake? Chloe shrieked. Oh, you didn't know? Anna laughed softly, cruelly. Check the certificates on those diamonds and Hermes bags Mother gave you. They're all high-grade replicas. She knew you only cared about status, so she gave fake pride to fake children.
Chloe hurriedly opened her handbag and pulled out her diamond certificate. Uncle Daniel, a well-known gemstone expert in the family, snatched it from her hand, glanced at it for barely a second, then let out a harsh snort. "This is a toy certificate," he said coldly. "The stone is glass zirconia." "No! No!" Chloe's scream pierced the room. In that instant, everything collapsed. Their dignity, their wealth, their social status. All of it crumbled in seconds in front of the entire extended family. "The police will supervise the packing process," Anna said calmly, already turning her back on them. "1 hour from now, the gate locks will be changed. Anyone still inside will be considered trespassing." Olivia collapsed into hysterical sobs, begging Uncle Daniel, but he turned his face away in disgust. One by one, uncles and aunts began to leave, disappointment written clearly on their faces, abandoning Olivia and Chloe to their humiliation. Anna stepped out onto the terrace, inhaling the late afternoon air. It felt astonishingly fresh. Behind her, the sound of her sister-in-law's wailing echoed like the closing soundtrack of a long, exhausting drama. Lucas followed and wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "Are you satisfied now?" he asked softly. Anna gazed at the sky, now glowing orange. "This isn't about satisfaction," she replied quietly. "This is about justice, for Victoria." Just as they were about to get into the car, a courier vehicle screeched to a stop. The courier hurried over and handed Anna a small package. "Miss Anna, express delivery from the hospital." Anna frowned. Victoria had already passed away. Who would send something from the hospital? She opened the package. Inside was a flash drive and a handwritten note. "Miss Anna, this was your mother's final deposit. She hid it inside her pillow shortly before falling into a coma. Her message was, 'This may only be opened after the main house returns to its rightful owner.'" Anna's heart began racing again. "What surprise did you leave this time, Mom?" That night, the laptop screen in the study of Aspen Ridge Villa, Colorado, glowed as the only source of light. Anna and Lucas sat side by side, shoulders touching, holding their breath as the video icon was clicked. Victoria's face appeared. The recording was clearly made months before her condition worsened. She sat in her favorite rocking chair on the back terrace, wearing a simple batik host dress, the kind Olivia had always mocked as tacky. She looked healthier then, but deep sorrow lingered in her eyes. "Peace be with you, my children, Lucas and Anna." Her hoarse voice made tears spill down Lucas's face instantly.
If you're watching this, then it means my shoebox plan worked. That means the main house has returned to its rightful hands, and your greedy sisters have received their lesson." She sighed deeply, staring into the garden. "Forgive me. Forgive me for seeming harsh, cold, and ungrateful, especially to you, Anna. You must have been hurt every time I criticized your cooking or threw harsh words at you." Anna covered her mouth, sobs breaking free. "I didn't do that because I hated you," Victoria said gently. "I was training your strength. I knew my time was limited, and I knew exactly what Olivia and Chloe were like. They were wolves. If I had spoiled you, they would have devoured you alive after I was gone. I had to make you strong, resilient, used to swallowing nails." Victoria leaned closer to the camera. Her gaze softened, a tenderness she had never shown openly in life. "The shoebox, I chose it because it represents you. Dirty on the outside, stepped on, worthless in appearance, but inside, pure gold. Olivia and Chloe are the opposite, like velvet jewelry boxes, beautiful on the outside, empty inside. The gold and luxury bags I gave them at that birthday party were all fake. I bought them wholesale. I wanted them to learn that a life built on false pride never lasts. But I knew they wouldn't realize it until they became poor." She smiled faintly. "Lucas, protect your wife. She is a rare woman. And Anna, thank you for cleaning my sickness without disgust. That was the most precious gold I ever received. Enjoy this inheritance, not for indulgence, but to restore the honor of our family. I love you both." The screen went dark. The room fell silent, broken only by Lucas's sobs as he held Anna tightly. That night in the cold old villa, their hearts were warmer than ever. The burden of revenge, pain, and confusion that had haunted Anna vanished completely. That confession was worth more than all the gold bars in the vault. 6 months later, a small commercial unit on the dusty outskirts of the city buzzed with chaos. In front of a grimy glass door, 2 women, once magazine cover glamorous, were wrestling over a handbag. "It's my turn, Chloe. I need to sell it to pay my motorcycle installment." Olivia shouted. Her hair was tangled, her face oily, bare of expensive makeup. "Dream on. You sold the shoes yesterday. Now it's my turn," Chloe snapped. They fought over a single second-hand branded bag, the only authentic asset left from their former glory. The Hermes bags and diamonds Victoria once gave them had all proven fake, worthless even to roadside pawnshops. They now lived in a cramped rental unit, chased by debt collectors, surviving by selling old clothes online. No more parties, no more elite social circles. Their wealthy friends vanished the moment Olivia and Chloe fell into poverty. They had truly reaped what they sowed: emptiness. Meanwhile, high in the cool hills, Aspen Ridge Villa had transformed, not into a gaudy palace, but into a serene residence, open on weekends as a transitional home for abandoned seniors, a foundation Anna created in Victoria's memory. In the wide backyard, Anna gently fed porridge to an elderly resident. She wore a simple, high-quality dress with a soft shawl. Her face glowed, unburdened. "Thank you, dear Anna," the old woman smiled toothlessly. "The porridge is delicious." "You're welcome, Grandma," Anna replied sincerely. Lucas approached with a tray of warm tea and kissed the top of her head. He was no longer an insecure substitute teacher. He now managed his late father's tea plantation assets and developed eco-agro-tourism around the villa. "There's a guest at the front," Lucas said softly. "Another journalist?" Anna asked with a smile. The story of the shoebox daughter-in-law had gone viral locally. "Not a journalist," Lucas chuckled. "It's Mr. Burhan. He brought the frame you ordered." Anna smiled and walked into the main living room. Above the warm fireplace, Mr. Burhan had just mounted an elegant glass display. Inside, not diamonds, not crowns, but something utterly contrasting the luxury of the room, a dented, dusty cardboard shoebox. Beneath it, a small gold plaque read, "Do not judge gold by its dust. Do not judge love by its packaging." Anna stared at the box, the same box once thrown at her in humiliation, now the highest symbol of honor in this house. She learned that God never sleeps. Sincerity may hurt at first, like walking barefoot on sharp gravel, but it always leads to a garden in bloom. Anna squeezed Lucas's hand and whispered softly, "Thank you, Mom. The test is over." Outside, the sun dipped below the horizon, pouring golden light over the valley, as if Victoria were smiling from above, blessing their true happiness. The end.